Hi everyone, I'm back from Japan. I arrived this morning and I thought I'd do a quick get ready with me. I look so tired. I am tired because I've only had 3 hours of sleep on the plane. I did try and vlog my trip to Japan, but I'm not sure if I've done a very successful job, so I may insert clips here and there. Honestly, I was just enjoying myself and I was focusing on just living in the moment and having a good time because it's been a long time since I've had a holiday, and this is the first holiday I've ever had away from my family, from Joey, from my husband, so it was totally different for me, and I really had a good time. I think it was a good break for me and a good time to kind of reset the button, especially to give myself a bit of a rest and a break before the next one comes. So yeah, I thought I'd do a quick get ready with me, kind of using makeup that I took while I was traveling, like my simple kind of makeup routine, because my friend Nicole does not wear any makeup and I don't want to be the one that's holding everyone up, taking 1 hour to do my makeup. So I kept it really simple. I'll be honest, I probably packed way more than I needed to. I took my usual bag, which is this one. It's from Alphabet Bags. These are such good bags. They're really sturdy. They're massive. You can fit so much makeup in here. These are excellent. If you've watched my previous video where I talked about the makeup I brought traveling versus what I used, I feel like I did better that time around than this time around. I think I was a bit more just frivolous with my packing. But anyway, let's get into it. So every day I do wear sunscreen, and this one is from Mecca Cosmetica. We actually had very good weather in Japan. Probably the coldest was maybe 14 degrees and the warmest at 24. It was very comfortable and we had a lot of sunny days. In fact, we had a very great day in particular when we went to Mount Fuji, because Mount Fuji can often be cloudy and not very good visibility, so we were very fortunate with that. And that was the day we went cycling and I just did not wear enough sunscreen and I got a bit of sunburn on my nose. It's kind of cleared a bit, but naughty me, definitely should have reapplied. So sunscreen is very important and I like this one. It just feels like a nice moisturizer. It doesn't have like a strong sunscreen smell. It's got an SPF of 50 and it's a really good one. Not cheap. Mecca Cosmetica is not cheap, but I think I got this one as a perk for my birthday in one of their Beauty Loop bags. If you're looking for a sunscreen and you want to splurge, that's a good one. Now I'm also using this L'Oreal Lumi Magique. The packaging, it's like all rubbed off everywhere. Even this part, the packaging is so cheap. I mean, I think this is a pretty inexpensive product, but I just feel like it's just very cheap. Like it's coming apart really. So I've been using this because it's my project pan, so I've just one bit of that. I'm not really sure if this does much for my skin. I feel like in Japan, people have, like, they do their base really well and their skin always looks so great. But I do see, like, when I go to the bathroom, a lot of people touching up, so I do think people touch up throughout the day, because I don't know how people keep their skin looking so great even at like 9 o'clock at night. So I'm using this Instant Adrian Wine Concealer in Neutraliser. This is a shade I bought on eBay because this shade is actually not available in stores in Australia. So I wanted to try this shade out and I think this is too light for me. I'm just going with it because I want to use it up. I feel like lately I've had really bad dark under eyes. Maybe I'm not getting enough sleep, but on my holiday I did get to sleep in for the first time in years. I think one of the days where we had to check out at 11, we woke up at about 10:30, which was amazing, although we did have to rush that day. But sleep-ins is one of those things that you just take for granted, and until you have children, and then you realize like getting those extra hours is so precious. Definitely focused more on my base than on eyes or anything like that. I did sometimes opt for a bright lip because sometimes I feel like when you have like a really simple eye, sometimes a bright lip just makes everything look a little bit more fresh. I did bring along some really fun colors with me, which I did use. I used this Hollywood Flawless filter in the kind of under eye area as well, just to illuminate it and give it a bit more light because of the darkness under there. I feel like I've nearly used this up. Like I feel like it's around here and I would definitely repurchase that. And then I also took along my Natasha Denona Face Glow Foundation, which I wanted to try for ages, ever since I've heard Samantha Ravindell rave about this. And I know I said I wasn't gonna buy any more foundations, but to be honest, I'm not super happy with the ones that I'm currently trying to use. Like this Suqqu Nude Wear Liquid Foundation, I'm not really a fan of. I don't think the coverage is good enough for what I want at the moment with my skin, and I don't think the longevity is there. So I didn't want to bring this one along. So yeah, I decided to try this out and I really love it. I swear I probably only got like, I've probably already used half of this. It's kind of a tacky foundation and quite thick, so you don't actually need to use a whole ton of it. I really like the finish of this foundation. It has a good coverage and it also looks a little bit dewy, so that's really my preference. And I feel like over there in Japan, definitely people seem to gear towards a more dewy look, because I think it, I don't know, maybe it looks more youthful. I really hope she doesn't discontinue this foundation because I'm really enjoying it. And then I'm also going to use a bit of concealer. This is the Bendy Avocado Concealer. And this is actually available in stores in Sephora in Melbourne, but not available online, which I feel is very strange. I do actually quite like it. It's quite liquidy, but pigmented, I feel. It feels more hydrating than dry, which I like. I'm in the shade 3, by the way. And it does have a bit of a orangey tone to it. I kind of like to put this in areas where I've got like some redness and a bit of purpleness, I guess. Then I'd go in with this Fenty matchstick in Mocha, which I'm using for my project pan, and I am going to do an update soon, so please bear with me. People have been asking me about that, but it's definitely coming. I don't usually do like very frequent updates, probably once every 3-4 months. It's terrible, but that's kind of how I do it. So I don't really like to do project pan updates if I haven't had much progress. So yeah, this is what I do. I kind of like give myself a jawline, because now that I'm a little bit bloated and I've got pregnant face, and I just want to chisel it out and make my face look a little bit slimmer. I feel like a week went by super fast. I feel like because maybe we crammed a lot of things in. We went to Tokyo, we stayed in Kyoto for a few days, and then we did day trips to Osaka and Mount Fuji. So we definitely were ambitious, but I feel like the great thing about Japan is that it's a very efficient country and it's easy to get around, comparing with some of the other countries I've been traveling in. Yeah, I'm so glad I went actually. I kind of, the night before, I freaked out thinking like I haven't finished packing. I'm leaving Joe for the first time. I hope my husband is gonna be okay. But I think in the end it all turned out really good, you know. And it's funny because my last baby moon was also with Nicole. We went to Beechworth in Victoria and we stayed one night in Beechworth because I had Airbnb credit. And it was really fun, but this was super, like this was really such a good holiday. Probably one of the best holidays I've had in a while. We ate a lot, we shopped a lot. I probably shopped too much. I was definitely worried I'd be over when I had to go to the airport and weigh everything. I was just crossing my fingers and hoping that I wasn't over the 30 kilogram allowance, but luckily I wasn't. And I probably will do a Japan haul at some point soon, once I've kind of unpacked everything. And I did also, again, buy some clothes from my favorite brand. Like I don't do that many fashion videos because obviously I don't buy clothes that much, but I really do enjoy some Issey Miyake. It's pretty much the only thing I buy these days because I know what I like and I know my style, and I feel like the clothes are very easy to wear for me. Especially now that I'm bigger, everything just fits. Or else when I was shopping a lot in Japan, I did a lot of window shopping, but I was very cognizant of the fact that, you know, most of the clothes I wouldn't be able to fit just because my stomach is now really protruding out. If you don't know, shopping in Japan, it can be tricky because they don't stock a lot of sizes, unfortunately, which is probably good because it just meant that I didn't buy as much as I might have. So after I did that, you know, kept it quite natural, I used the Bare Minerals Blemish Rescue Skin Clearing Loose Powder Foundation, and I'm in Neutral Ivory. I really like this powder. This is one of the first powders I ever started to use by Bare Minerals. Not this particular formula, but Bare Minerals powders in general. I forgot how much I enjoyed them. So that's the base done. Very simple, like kind of not over the top or anything like that, I don't feel. And I think most people over there don't really have like super like caked on makeup. It's quite natural. Eyebrows, I just kind of stuck to my trusty Suqqu palette, which I've had probably since 2012, and I've got major dips in both of these shades, but still have not panned this. I was thinking about picking another one, but I thought, you know, I've got so much product left in here. It's totally fine. I don't react badly to it, so I just keep using it. I did actually buy a new brush though, because this brush, although it is great, it's getting pretty old. I did pick up this brush from this brand, Yoyogi. It's a brand that is available in Kyoto because I needed a new angled brush for my eyebrows. Or did I? But I did buy it anyway. Simple brows, just filling out any gaps that I have. I try not to over pluck because my hair doesn't really grow back as fast as it once used to. Natural and quick was the theme of the makeup in this trip, I feel. When I'm traveling, I just want to be really fast and quick, get out the door, actually be doing things, sightseeing, eating, mostly eating. A lot of eating was happening. We did do a few shrines here and there. We did the famous one in Kyoto, the Fushimi Inari shrine, which I have done before, but I did do it again because I think Nicole did want to see that. We totally missed the Imperial Palace in Kyoto. Like, I totally forgot that it existed. We only realized that as we kind of took the taxi back towards the station, and then you mentioned that we hadn't actually seen it, which I feel like I have once upon a time, so it wasn't a big deal to me. Kind of just played it by ear. We weren't super worried about doing and seeing everything because, you know, you really can't in a week. Oh, by the way, if you're wondering why my lashes look so perky and fluffy, it's because I actually did a lash lift before I left for Japan, and I'm so glad I did because I feel like it makes me look more like awake and alive. And I went to Marico Salon in Melbourne. If you're interested in getting one, they did a really good job on me, so I was really happy with that, and I just think they make so much difference. Because of that, I didn't necessarily, you know, feel like I needed to put that much eye makeup on. I did use this palette from Joseph Colors. This is the Pretty Cool palette. It's the first time I actually used it. I decided to take it with me to Japan. I'm really glad I did, and it's the basic brown palette. Besides that, I also took my Viseart Warm Mattes palette, which I don't know why I took because I probably used it twice. And having these two is just unnecessary. So didn't need this, but I did take it anyway, just to waste space in my bag. And I also took this Joseph Colors Ideal Duo in Shell, never used it. Oh, I did bring this Stila Glitter and Glow in Bronze Bell, and I did use this one. So I'll show you kind of how I incorporated these two. First thing I would do, keeping it really simple, take the lighter shade. I didn't even use primer because just couldn't be bothered at that time. So all over the eyelid just to give it a bit of color. And I really do like this palette and this formula. I bought too many brushes, by the way. I overcompensated. I don't know why I did, but I just feel like I need my tools. I was a bit silly, so I definitely packed way too many brushes. You don't need this many brushes for a 1 week trip. And then I took my 3 brush, which is one of my favorite brushes of all time. And I tried to find other brushes like this because I love the shape and it's so perfect for doing the under eye as well as like getting into smaller areas. It's just great. So usually what I do is I take the darkest shade and I would just kind of run that on the outer edge and bring that in a little to give my eyes some depth and dimension. Blend it out as needed. Doesn't necessarily have to be perfect. I didn't spend necessarily the longest time blending everything out. Then on the lower lash line, I generally would take the second lighter shade and then run that under the lower lash line. I did also occasionally use my Linda Hallberg pencil as well in this shade, Sophia Flash, but sometimes I did prefer eyeshadow instead, so it just depends on how I felt. Seriously, so simple to do. That's basically the eyeshadow. Then I would do the mascara, and I just like to pack the mascara on. I don't know, I like that look. I'd use my Suqqu mascara, and I think it's kind of starting to dry out. Definitely when I don't have my lash lift, this does kind of, it doesn't hold the curl, unfortunately. It is quite a heavy mascara, but with a lash lift, it's fine. And I feel like it makes such a big difference. The fact that I don't have to curl my eyelashes. I definitely noticed a lot of people over there like to have eyelash extensions, and I personally do not like eyelash extensions because I feel like it's so finicky to maintain. Like the fact that you can't use any oil products around it. Once they kind of start to drop out, it just doesn't look as great. I just feel like this is just so much easier. I can't do anything that requires a lot of maintenance. I feel like it takes a lot of commitment to go back for a refill every 2 weeks. I know some people don't really like the kind of clumpy mascara look, but I kind of like it. Big difference between those two eyes. I just look so much more awake, and more so awake than if I didn't have a lash lift. I actually really like minis over full sizes because I feel like I can actually use them up. And in general, I do love Japanese mascaras. I think they do them so well. I love the Hair and Make one and the Deja Vu one, which adds like fibers to your lashes. Now with the Still Glitter and Glow, I'd add that to my inner corner, just the tiniest peak. I saw Alana from Skincity do this and I thought it just looked so fun but minimal. So just kind of the tiniest bit on the inner corner there, but barely. And then lastly, now with the eyes done, I would put a lipstick on. I bought a whole bunch of Beauty Bakerie lipsticks. I've done plenty of reviews on this and I kind of have a love-hate relationship with these, but I love them for the fact that they are so long-lasting. Yes, they feel super, super dry. Yes, they can take a while to apply and you have to be very careful applying them, but in terms of longevity, I do not have a liquid lipstick that lasts as well as these. I did use a few of these shades. I used Ball of Cherries and I also loved this Sakura Delight, which was such a fun pink color. So I might wear that today. I definitely feel like people in general tend to go for kind of more nude colors rather than bold colors like this. I didn't see very many people wearing super bold lip colors. I think this is a gorgeous pink and the perfect color for cherry blossom season, which we were so fortunate to have caught. I was worried that I would actually miss it because everyone was telling me that cherry blossom season generally lasts 1 week after they bloom, and they bloomed already mid-March. We definitely were very fortunate to see some. There's numerous places where you can see the cherry blossoms during that cherry blossom season, but we did actually go to the Meguro River, Nakameguro. That was such a beautiful area to see it in, and I feel like it's kind of, it felt like a really kind of trendy hipster area. And of course the other place we saw them in was Mount Fuji, which against the mountain, it looked amazing. So this is the 4th time I've been to Japan, and by far my favorite season was this season in April, cherry blossom season, because it was just so gorgeous and the weather was so mild and beautiful. Because when I went August last year, it was 35 degrees every day and I couldn't stand the heat. The only time I would probably go back in summer is if I was going to climb Mount Fuji, which is still a lifelong dream of mine. I will eventually do that one day. Maybe when our kids are a bit older, we can all do it together. That might be fun. I don't know. If you are planning on going to Japan, I highly recommend going during Sakura season. Now on the days I didn't opt for a liquid lipstick, I also did bring a lip gloss from Fenty, as well as this one, my Holy Grail Suqqu lipstick in number 11. It's my perfect nude. And I also did bring along these lip balms from Emile Cordon, which were kindly given to me in PR a while ago. And I never talked about them because I hadn't had a chance to use them. And it's a gorgeous color. It can also be used on the cheeks as well. And I love multi-use products like this, so I thought it'd be useful to bring these along. I also bought the one in Moroccan Mint, and I used that kind of as more of a lip treatment at night, where, you know, after I would have these liquid lipsticks on, because they're pretty drying at night, when I take them off, my lips would be feeling a little bit worse for wear, so I did slather it on before I went to bed and they were really good. They are a little bit pricey, but they definitely feel really gorgeous on lips and they smell really nice too. And they have a whole variety of them on their websites. They sent me another 2 of these as well to give to my subscribers so you guys can experience them yourselves because they're so nice. If you want to win one, just comment down below and look at the description bar. So it's kind of like a mini giveaway hidden within this video because why not? So yeah, this is the makeup, super simple, you know, without all the talking. This generally took me about 15 to 20 minutes to do, which is quite quick compared to maybe what I used to do. So yeah, I would definitely have some more Japan related videos coming up. So stay tuned for that if you want to. Anyway, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next one.